Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing off some of the silver only items from this season. Don't hate me for funding Eververse because I got this money from YouTube ad revenue. You only have yourself to blame from watching this video. Also, thank you for watching this video. Now that the entire Eververse storefront items have been data mined for the rest of the season, we know there are some items that will never be sold for Bright Dust. And while people remember Bungie saying all opulence items will be available for direct purchase via silver or bright dust, they said the word or. They didn't say all items would be available for silver and bright dust, so they did warn us this would happen, but it kinda sounded like everything would be bright dust this season. Don't be mad at that, but I mean, it's reasonable to be mad that they didn't say the items were silver only items. The entire Eververse stock has been planned out since before the season began, figured out by JP Deathblade, meaning they could have said something. The labels on the items are clear enough that someone who looked at the data figured it out. We always ask for transparency from Bungie, so excuse me for this rant about how they should be more transparent. Eververse has been poorly managed in the past. We had that whole XP scandal in Season 1 for Bright Engrams, and we see the Grooving Dance emote and the Dust Off emote were added into the best of Year 1 engrams. But it's not because those emotes were good emotes, it was because they were never added to the Bright Engram and Curse of Osiris. Like, how do you miss entire emotes? They sold the Grooving Dance emote twice, and the Dust Off emote came out of nowhere. They didn't actually sell it until Warmind came out a season later. These ended up being the first Bright Dust only emotes. You couldn't earn them. And now we have silver only ones every week. I mean, I can't be mad that the ghost projections weren't sold. Most of them suck and you never see them. I'm slightly disappointed about the loot chest transmat effect. How do you not put that in the loot pool for Bright Dust items? It's beyond me. Two things people are mad about is the selfie emote and the GN one-eyed mask ornament. Neither are set to sell as Bright Dust items. At least they're selling the sweeping emote. But with people not being able to come back week to week in Destiny, it can prevent them from being able to buy one-time only items for silver. What do I mean by one-time only items? Items like the Void Shell and the Discouraged emote. Not only are they not for direct purchase of silver from week to week, they aren't available for Bright Dust. And they were only available once. So if you thought that maybe they would be sold for Bright Dust, that they would be available later, or you didn't have the ability at the time, you're screwed. I mean, it's unlikely they're going to come out with the best of Year 2 engrams for a long while. And here's something to be mad about, in my opinion. We need more information about Eververse. The Discouraged emote is a pretty good emote, and it's multiplayer. Now it's like the rarest 2-player emote in the game. I mean, other than the Refer a Friend one. Secret Handshake was the first multiplayer emote, but you have to get 3 referrals to get it. And now Refer a Friend is going away. It's unknown what they will do with those exclusive rewards. And with the Void Shell, that's worse. I mean, think about it. The Solar and Arc Shell will be available for Bright Dust, but you can't even get the Void Shell anymore. Why make a set of ghosts, but not able to get it? There's so many things, I feel like they really dropped the Cabal. But then there were good things like the Solstice Ghosts. Each of them have double exotic ghost perks, including Guiding Light. And with XP increasing your overall power slightly, those will be really helpful. That is, if you're not running Fireteam medallions. So that was a good thing to add. While it's fair to say Eververse purchases will lead to more content being created, as long as we can get the specifics of what is and is not sold for Bright Dust, I would feel a lot more comfortable planning out my purchases. It was said that the ornaments for Whisper of the Worm earned enough to pay for the Outbreak mission. That means Eververse is doing pretty well. Even people that spend money on Eververse cannot afford to buy everything. It's unrealistic with those high costs. So I bought a handful of items. Right now we don't know how hard it will be to get Bright Dust and Shadowkeep. We might have issues there too. I know it's impossible to get all the new stuff with Bright Dust and have any dust left over, so I'm skipping out on the ships and sparrows. One of the first mistakes I made was when they marketed the Consult the Archives emote with a discount coupon and all that stuff. They never once said it would be available for Bright Dust. And then they sold it for Bright Dust. It really confused me. Like, I feel like the marketing strategy for the fear of missing out is lack of communication. If they don't patch the method for data mining Eververse stock, I highly recommend reviewing it before starting to buy stuff in Shadowkeep. I think this information is very influential on what you should and shouldn't buy for real money, if you choose to do so. Another point is that these items that are available for silver right now could always come back in future seasons for Bright Dust, or come back for silver again. I mean, what's the point of having content if people can't access it? Old ornaments are constantly for sale, sparrows and ships, so it's too soon to say you will never get these things that are silver only. But you won't get them this season. That's unless Bungie manually changes things with the Eververse store based on player feedback. With the new free-to-play Year 1 content, I feel more comfortable buying cosmetics. I mean that and the fact that some improve gameplay features slightly. It's also a way to show items outside of the preview screens. Some things aren't showcased fully inside of a preview screen, notably weapon ornaments. I do feel like the prices are too high, and especially this season, there are too many silver-only items. Bungie stated that some packages can be discounted coming up based on if you own part of the set. I'm interested in seeing how they develop the whole discounts angle. And I guess I'm slightly discouraged by the sheer amount of cosmetics that are Bright Dust only. While it's a guaranteed way to earn them, it's way too slow, and seemingly also left to chance. Whether you will be around to pick them up or not, or have the currency to buy it while it's around, isn't something I want to be afraid of in the future. I think this season's Eververse model has been the worst for players so far.
Cheese forever, Guardian!